This hits differently because Charlie was one of us. And Trump gets hit in the ear. Charlie gets shot dead. They came after Kavanaugh with a rifle to his neighborhood. They went after Musk's cars. They just shot 2 Jews outside the embassy. Think about it. Scalise got shot, barely survived. It's happening. You got trans shooters. You got riots in LA. They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible. Dana nailed it. This is unacceptable and has to stop. And it has to stop now. And everybody's accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying what. The politicians, the media, and all of these rats out there. This can never happen again. It ends now. Greg's right again. This is a turning point, and we know which direction we're going.
Okay, so shout out to my man, Jesse Dollamore. I'm a huge fan of his. So I figured I wanted to bring this topic up mainly because there's a couple of types of people that annoy me more than any other type of person out there. One of those people is a thief. I just cannot stand a thief. The other person, the other type of person is a coward. I feel like Jesse Waters is the definition of a coward. He's stoking these flames, spreading hate, making this division between the left and the right as far apart as he possibly can. Sounds like he's trying to start some type of civil war, I guess, with statements like, they are at war with us, and what are we going to do about it? Those kind of statements don't help anything. All it does is make people more upset, makes people more violent. It raises the temperature even more than what it is now, when everyone should be trying to figure out a way to reduce the temperature. People like Jesse Waters make statements like that. They know that they've got crazy, potentially sometimes brainwashed people who will do anything that the right is telling them. Anything that MAGA is pitching towards them, they're going to do it. So Jesse Waters is not being careful with his statements, and he's throwing stuff out there saying they're at war with us, and what are we going to do about it? Somebody's sitting at their couch watching Jesse Waters, and they just may act on that as a challenge. What are we going to do about it? The thing that concerns me the most, or the thing that frustrates me the most about Jesse Waters, just by looking at the guy, you could tell he would not bust a grape in a fruit fight. So folks that are sitting behind a desk with a tie on and makeup, and they're asking people at home, what are we going to do about it? They've attacked our guy here. They've attacked our guy there. They've done this to us. They're at war with us. What are we going to do about it? If a war did break out, what would Jesse Waters be doing? What would he be doing? I can tell you right now, he wouldn't be on the front lines. I can just look at the guy and tell you he's not made like that. So that kind of energy, I just don't appreciate it at all. The one word that I continue to say is missing from the vocab of all MAGA folks. The one word that's missing from all these people, if you just look at what Charlie Kirk talks about, if you look at what Candace Owens talks about, if you look at what if you just look at what all these MAGA people talk about, the one word that's missing from their vocabulary is empathy. They have no empathy for anyone, especially any type of minority. Whenever Jesse Waters is talking here, one of the statements that he says from the very beginning defines exactly what I'm talking about here. To start this conversation, he says, this one hits different because Charlie was one of us. If you ask me, it shouldn't matter whose side Charlie was on. It shouldn't matter whose side the Minnesota representative was on. If someone is killed on some political stuff, if someone is shot and killed on something as crazy as we've seen things happen, right? We've seen things happen, but if someone is innocently shot dead, we should all feel terrible about it. It shouldn't matter if they was on our team or their team. It shouldn't matter whose team they're on. So for him to jump out the window at the very beginning and say, this one hits different because he was one of us, that is exactly what the point that I've been trying to get across to folks, especially MAGA people. It should not matter whose team somebody's playing on. If they're done bad, if they've been done wrong, we should want to help them. If there's a child that cannot, if a child and his parents cannot afford food, we should want to help that child. If there's someone who needs help with some type of assistance to pay for childcare, our mindset shouldn't be, well, no one helped me. I went out there and I've started a business and I made money so I can feed my kids, so I'm not going to help you. That shouldn't be our mentality. If there's someone out there that can't afford something, we should be wanting to help those people. We got to get more empathy, man. We have to figure that out as a country.
Starts off nice, doesn't it? This hits differently because Charlie was one of us. Just giving up the whole game, Jesse Waters. Didn't give a single f*** when Melissa Hortman was assassinated at the hands of a Republican gunman.
Right.
No, but this hits differently because Charlie was also a racist. He was also a white supremacist. He was also a Republican. That's why it's different this time. And then do you notice the vagary of his language? They came after Kavanaugh.
If you've watched any of my previous videos, I've been saying this consistently. The people on the right, like as soon as this thing broke out, before they even know who did it, before they knew who did it, they started saying, they murdered him. They did this. They did that. And my response to the first video that I've made was, who is they? Who is they? I consider myself independent, but I have voted Democrat each time in my life. And the reason why I'm able to say that I am independent is because if there was someone as corrupt as Donald Trump that took over the Democratic Party, I would not vote for them. I would vote Republican. I'm not just tied to one party. I'm tied to what I believe is right. And typically the people that are on the left are the side of what I believe is right. So that's why I say I'm independent, but I voted Democrat every time. But for some reason, these folks on the right, they have consistently jumped out the window saying, they have done this, they have done that, they've done it, they've done it, they've done it. And I'm like, I voted Democrat every time, and I had nothing to do with this. So how can you potentially pin this on me and everyone else who's on the left? How? I've jumped out from the very beginning and said, Charlie Kirk getting murdered was terrible. I don't condone that. I don't vouch for that. That's not what I'm about. I don't like that. Whoever this killer was, he needs to go to prison for the rest of his life. I jumped out and said that initially. And almost every other person on the left side has said the exact same thing. So who exactly is they? Is it the left? Because, like I said earlier, me and all these other folks that I see online, all these politicians from the left, they're all coming out saying, this is not what we stand for. Are they included in this they that you're talking about?
A mentally disturbed individual did approach Kavanaugh's house, Brett Kavanaugh, with a weapon, and then called the cops on himself because he was disturbed. That's why he was there. He was disturbed and found clarity enough to call the cops on himself. He wasn't caught by the authorities, by the armed agents of the state who guard the Supreme Court justice. He called the cops on himself. And it's not they. Who's this they? This nebulous they. This dangerous, shadowy they.
Who is they? I still don't know.
Who are you talking about, Jesse Waters?
Who is it?
They went after Musk's cars. They.
I had nothing to do with that. I guess I'm part of they. I don't know.
Outside the embassy. They did this. Do you hear this, Fox News viewers? They might be coming for you next. It's dangerous.
I know a whole lot of y'all MAGA lovers and supporters, and what I call you is MAGA worshipers. I know it's a whole lot of you MAGA worshipers that's been in the comment section. So if you would, please explain who they is. Am I part of they? Is Jesse Dollar, is he part of they? Is Jesse Dollamore part of they? Let me know. Who is they? Is any other YouTube streamer online who votes Democratic, are they part of they? Are there people who are on the right side? is there a they? Are they part of this they? I don't know who they is, but I continuously hear they did it, they did it. So let me know who they is.
It's happening, he says. We've got trans shooters. It is remarkable to me, with the literal thousand upon thousands upon thousands of mass shootings we've had in this country at the hands of white men, predominantly, overwhelmingly white men, white boys, white males, thousands, tens of thousands, maybe. I don't know the number is so astronomical. I don't know the number, but we've had of all the tens of thousands of mass shootings, there's been 5 transgender people. So now that's the threat. It's all to stoke fear, to otherize marginalized communities. So innocent trans Americans will be under threat of violence and death, torture, and murder. Not at Jesse Waters' hands. He'll be blameless. He's not going to do the violence himself. We'll get to who will, the types that will. They are at war with us, he says. They are at war with us, he repeats.
I don't think people realize, I don't think Jesse Waters even realized how dangerous that statement is. There's people at home who are halfway crazy, maybe even all the way crazy. And when you make statements saying they are at war with us, and what are we going to do about it? There's some people at home who are going to say, I'm going to do something about it. I'll do something about it, Jesse Waters. And they'll jump up off their couch and try to do something. And then whenever that person who does something stupid says, I heard Jesse Waters on this day make this claim, so I figured I was going to do something. Then Jesse Waters is going to say, no, that wasn't me. No. I wasn't telling you to do anything. Throw the rock and hide your hand. That's what they all about, right? Cowardly, whack. Cowardly.
How much political violence are we going to tolerate, he says, rallying the troops. And we're watching what they're saying on television. And who's saying what? This is a threat. We're watching. We're seeing who's saying what they're saying. The politicians and the media and all of those rats out there. They're watching. They're listening. This is a turning point, Jesse Waters says. And we know which direction we're going.
What direction is that, tough guy?
Is that right, Jesse Waters? Just another fucking mouthy coward.
Hey, coward. You used the same word that I did.
Import, whose words will influence radicals, people already on the edge, who don't know the facts, who are steeped in conspiratorial thinking that is delivered to them, spoon-fed to them by Fox News.
That's an important statement for sure. If you are part of the MAGA worshipers, this is what I'll say to you. Please do what I do, okay? And what some other people who I would consider somewhat well-informed. I like to consider myself well-informed. I watch CNN. I watch MSNBC. I watch Fox News. I watch all of them each day. Because in the middle of all of that, if you put them all in one big jumble, the truth is usually somewhere in the middle of all 3 of those networks. If you watch MSNBC, you'll get everything skewed to the left. If you watch everything Fox News, the only thing you will watch is stuff that's just definitely dedicated to the right. CNN typically is somewhere in the middle. But if you watch all 3 of those networks, you will come away with knowing basically what the truth is, because Fox News is going to tell you what the right side is. MSNBC is going to tell you what the left side is. CNN is going to tell you somewhere in the middle of those. And if you get all 3 of those opinions, you'll walk away knowing pretty much what the truth is. don't just stay focused on one channel. Don't just watch MSNBC. Don't just watch Fox News, or you're going to have a skewed mentality. All you're going to get is one side of the story. You got to get both sides of the story on this stuff. Like I'm telling y'all, there's been multiple stories where I just said, I'm going to go watch, let's say MSNBC. I'm going to watch this real quick. And I'll watch an hour of that. And then I'll go and watch Fox News for a couple of hours. And I'm like, this Fox News portion didn't even bring up anything to do with what MSNBC just mentioned. And that portion is incredibly important for this entire story. So if you're watching it from the Fox News perspective, it's incredibly easy for you to hate people on the left side because the only story you're getting is the right story. And I don't mean correct when I say right. I mean the far right side, conservative. So please make yourself well informed and listen to all sides of these things before you make an opinion, because people are lying to you. They're withholding information, and you would be shocked how much information is out there on these stories that you're only getting one portion of.
Again, Jesse Waters' little buddy, Greg Gutfeld, he had this little add-on to the screed.
Yeah, I know that it's somewhat object of mockery to say thoughts and prayers, but thoughts and prayers for his family. And they need it from all of us. And Jesse's right. If they could do this, they are capable of anything. I think that was the message. I believe that was the message. It's really hard to radicalize Republicans.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're not the radical type.
Come on, man. Anybody can be radicalized. Anybody. Independents, left or right. Anybody can be radicalized. When you make statements like that, that just tells me that you are not well informed. That tells me that you are so biased that you can't even see straight. To sit there on national television and say the left or the right, whichever side you're talking about, and you say it's hard for them to be radicalized, it's almost impossible for them to be radicalized. That tells me that you have no kind of deep thought going on in your brain at all. It's all just simply pure based on bias that you have. So that's the video, y'all. I don't know what to tell you about this stuff. This stuff is crazy to me. We've got to open our minds and be able to receive the other side of the story from time to time, because if you just sit on one side of the fence, you have no idea what's going on over there. And you can't really grasp what's really going on in the rest of the world if you don't even know what's going on outside of your own yard. So that's a little bit of information that I have. I had to show that video. I know it's a little bit of an old video, but I came across it a while ago and I was like, I've got to mention this whole Jesse Waters thing. Just trying to be a tough guy for no reason. He's not a tough guy. He's just not. I can tell by looking at the guy. He's not. So that's all that I got for you. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue building this thing one like and one subscription at a time. So thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Take care. God bless.